Good evening and welcome to Minster Memorial Field. I'm Jeff Henshin with tonight's Division 7 Region 26 State Tournament football game. It's Week 11 here in Ohio. We have the number 8 seed Fort Loramie Redskins squaring off against the number 1 seed Minster Wildcats. These two teams met each other in Week 1 here at Minster as well. On August 28th, the Minster Wildcats win that game 41-7, a big second quarter to open up that game. Since that time, both teams have played well, and both teams are currently on a 6-game winning streak. Fort Loramie Redskins have overhauled their offense a little bit, losing quarterback Austin Siegel in the third game. Drew Warman has stepped in at Game 4 and has guided his team to 6 consecutive W's. They've also inserted a freshman running back in Carter Mesher to help carry the ground game for the Minster Wildcats. They've been strong all year. The only 2 losses coming against Marion Local and also Coldwater. So the Wildcats back to defend a state title, although instead of Division 6 this year, they dropped down to Division 7. So they will try to repeat there as they begin the second season, if you will, here in Ohio high school football. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have our start to the football game, the opening kick here on NKTelco Sports.
Cody Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
NKTelco is your hometown provider. We are Northwest Ohio's leading independent broadband company that brings fiber to your home. Larger competitors talk about it, but we've been delivering our fiber network for over 10 years, guaranteeing more bandwidth and services, over 80 HD channels, Echo whole home DVR, interactive channel guides, in-demand, internet-based phone systems, and local news and sports channels. Innovative, futuristic, and cost-effective.
Welcome back once again to Minster, Ohio, where the Fort Loramie Redskins and the Minster Wildcats are set to square off here in this tournament game. Both teams are on the field, and Minster's won the toss and deferred. They will kick off to the Fort Loramie Redskins. And before we get to that kickoff, let's go over our keys to the game tonight, brought to you by Bud's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. First for the Fort Loramie Redskins. Need to control the ball, no turnovers. Don't give Minster a short field to work on. And with that, the ground game has been stronger recently. They average over 222 yards, rushing yards a game. If their offense can kill the clock with possessions and moving the chains, that'll keep the Minster offense off the field. For the Minster Wildcats, come out, play aggressive, get off to a good start, try to score early and often. Force the Loramie Redskins to throw the ball. And also take care of business. They're the 1 seed playing the 8 seed. They've already beaten this team handily earlier in the season. Don't overlook your competition, but play hard. You're the defending champions. Go out and take care of business. As we're set now for the opening kickoff by Jason Schultz. He will kick off from the 40-yard line. Going left to right on your TV screen. The wind out of the west, blowing to the east. And the opening kickoff will go into the end zone for the automatic touchback. That'll give us a chance to go over the offensive starting lineup. At center, you have Tate Schultes. Right guard, Dylan Eilerman. Left guard, Nolan Holthouse. Right tackle, Mike Hoyne. Left tackle, Sam Putoff. And Blake Geyer. Wingback, Dan Burning. Tight end, Nate Plyman. Quarterback, Drew Werman. H-back, Jacob Kitzmiller. And running back, Carter Mesher. You're starting at 11 for Coach Whit Parks, who recently earned his 200th high school coaching victory. Short gain on the very first play. Brad Plyman actually getting the start there in the backfield. Direct snap to him goes for no gain, as again on the season Fort Loramie dominant on the ground with the 222 rushing yards. Drew Werman with 631 yards on the ground. Wes Putoff with 600 yards. Those two combined for 15 rushing touchdowns. Worman with 8, Putoff with 7. A strong gain of about 6 yards. And there's Drew Worman, who again began playing quarterback this season as a starter in the 4th game and has progressed nicely in that position. Has also carried the ball in the backfield in that position well, as Coach Whit Parks has gone back to the older style offense. And important down here with 3rd and 3. And that's the freshman right there, Carter Mesher. Nice job by Mesher, the freshman. Didn't play against Wildcats in week 1. Has come on very strong here. The past 5 games, he has rushed very well for the Redskins. 5 games. He's carried the ball nicely for them. And he has an important first down here as the Redskins, key to the game, ground game, move the chains, keep the Minster offense off the field. Worman comes this side, and they will wrestle him out of bounds for a short gain. Minster, nice pursuit. They chase Worman side to side. Jacob Deuce for Minster on the tackle. Jacob Deuce, nice pursuit there, and it brings up 2nd down and 9, the clock running. Beautiful night for football here in Minster. Again, a breeze coming west to east, so left to right on your TV screen. Other than that, very fine field conditions here at Minster for Week 11 football this week, the tournament week. Direct snap to Carter Bentzman, and not much doing as he is stuffed for no gain. Peter Ranley, number 45. And with a good stop, and again, a 3rd and long, Fort Loramie was able to convert their first 3rd down opportunity. This time much longer distance to achieve, and Fort Loramie is yet to throw a pass. Worman on the season has only attempted 32 passes, connecting on 16 for 280 yards with 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. He will look to pass here. He'll keep it. Needs to get 9 yards, and he's going to come up about a half a yard short. Maybe a strong yard. So decision time here for the Redskins, whether to gamble. It'd be great field position if they don't get it for the Wildcats. And you take a look here as they will line up apparently in an effort to go for it, where it's 4th and a good yard. Host of players in the backfield. Play clock down to 5. And before the time expires, Fort Loramie will take their first time out. We'll take one with them. You're watching tournament football on NKTelco Sports.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you.
Following a timeout, the Redskins have elected to punt. Cody Gassin, 5'9" junior, will punt the ball for the Redskins. Long snapper is Alec Holdhouse. So Fort Loramie will not gamble at inside their own possession. And a short kick into the wind. And it takes a Minster hop and is basically down with no bounce yard. So Minster will have great field position at about their own 39-yard line. And the Wildcats will send their offensive unit out, a unit that is averaging 205 passing yards a game, 131 yards rushing a game. They're led by quarterback Josh Nixon on the season, completing 57% of his passes. He's thrown for 22 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. He had 2 or maybe 3 of them in the Anna game. Other than that, he's been very clean with the football at the quarterback position. And good defensive play as Jacob Dew's nowhere to go. Nice job by the Fort Loramie Redskins. Daniel Burning and also Josh Siegel in on the stop for the Fort Loramie Redskins, who will have their hands full with a very potent Minster offense. So they bring up 2nd and 9. Nixon, first pass of the game is through the hands of Jacob Dews. So 3rd and down, a big play early in this first quarter for the Fort Loramie Redskins. If they can get a quick stop here, force a Minster punt, it'll be a quick 3 and out. But Minster, again, has other ideas right now with a 3rd and 9. As Nixon will organize his troops. Plenty of time on the play clock. It's at 15 seconds. Shovel pass on the inside. Nearly breaking it through. Peter Ranley. A shovel pass works to perfection, and Peter Ranley was just an arm tackle away from going the distance. That's his 11th reception on the season. He came in with the 10 catches, 93 yards, and 2 scores. Almost picked up his 3rd. Evan Hilsman now around the outside will lumber forward for a good 11 yards. A first down for the Wildcats, or very near a first down. So penalty flag down on the field. So hold on a second here. We'll find a white hat and see what it is as Minster begins to walk backwards. So that will probably negate a good run by Hilsman. Ten yards marked back from the spot of the foul. So 1st and 17 for the Wildcats. So Fort Loramie gets a break as Minster commits the penalty, a big penalty that wiped out a near a first down attempt by Evan Hilsman. Nixon will hand off again. They'll give to Hilsman again. He lumbers forward for about 6 or 7. That'll bring up 2nd down now and 11. Minster, the number 1 seed. Fort Loramie, the number 8 seed, also playing tonight. Covington, the 2 seed, versus Lehman Catholic, the 7. Fort Recovery, the 3 seed, playing 6 seed Miami Valley Christian. And number 4, Riverside, takes on Ada. The winner of the Riverside Ada game, I believe, will play the winner of this game. And there's a nice pass and incomplete. Good defense. Jacob Dews couldn't come up with it. Nice throwing ball. Good defense by the Fort Loramie Redskins. Cody Gassin in on the tackle, or I should say the pass breakup. So that'll bring up 3rd and long again. There's a whistle here as they will reset it. And 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go, and get a good look right there at quarterback Josh Nixon with the 3rd down long facing him. They keep it on the ground. Evan Hilsman breaks through the tackle and lunges forward for a first down. Take another look at that as another nice run by Evan Hilsman. He's tackled by Drew Werman at the end, but not until Hilsman able to get the necessary yards, move the chains, and Minster's first drive continues as they get inside the Fort Loramie 35. Quickly, they go back to work. Hilsman again runs forward for about 3 yards. Brad Plyman and Nate Plyman both on the tackles there for Fort Loramie. Quickly, Minster back to work on offense in quick fashion. Hilsman again will get about 3 or 4 more and bring up 3rd down and short. Minster's been is in a hurry here as they have quickly get back to the line of scrimmage and will line up and snap it here quickly. They've been very, very rapid here in this drive here of recent. Hillsman lumbles through. Another first down inside the 20, down to the 19. And Evan Hillsman right now taking care of business on the ground. And Minster really going quick here. Nixon, a quick look of the offense on the wristband, and Hillsman will keep it again, and still positive yards going forward. About another gain of 7 yards. So inside the 15-yard line for the Wildcats, as they've been very efficient on the ground. Hillsman loses his footing inside the 10. And there's a penalty flag right around where the Hillsman was tackled. We'll take another look here. The Minster's already had one penalty that they had to overcome. Holding penalty against the Wildcats. Want to go to the offensive starters. That offensive line, it's centered by Jesse Burkhead. Left guard, Josh Odding. Right guard, Isaac Dorston. Left tackle, Pierce McGowan. Right tackle, Derek Gresham. Wide receiver, Bryce Smeezing. The other wide receiver, Jack Puppelman. Also wide receiver, Jacob Dews. Your fullback is Peter Ranley. Tailback, Evan Hillsman. And your quarterback, Josh Nixon. As that offensive unit will again try to overcome the extra yards. They've already been successful on this drive, having overcome a penalty. The first penalty, lob it to the left corner as Deuce, the intended receiver, just out of his reach. That will be the second incomplete pass by Nixon. So again, 3rd and long, where Minster has converted some long ones already on this drive. They've had some short 3rd downs that they were able to convert. They do have a very good place kicker in Jason Schultz. If they don't get the necessary yards, he does have a long field goal made this year of 43 yards. Game winner, that one was, as he will remember that for a long time. So 3rd and 14. They will throw. Pass intended for number 21, Jack Puppelman. So 4th down, is be interesting to see what the Wildcats do with the ball on the 23-yard line. That'll be a 36-yard field goal. 40-yard field goal. The wind is behind their backs, and they will, a lot of looking around, and I think they will go for it. Play clock down to 15 seconds. And Nixon appears that the Wildcats will forego the field goal try and try to convert here on 4th and 14. Corner of the end zone, pass broken up. Good defense by the Fort Loramie Redskins. Jarrett Meyer on the defense. Number 26 able to be back there to break it up. Good job by the Fort Loramie Redskins defense. They bent a little bit, gave up some big plays, but when the Wildcats got into the red zone, it was the Fort Loramie defense capitalizing on 3 straight incompletions. And they will take over on their own 23. Did get a first down in their first drive before they were forced to punt. And again, the Redskins moving right to left will throw into the wind. Quick snap. And that was Bensman off the right side. Carter Bensman, a freshman. He is stopped by Jared Toby for a short game of about 2 yards. Bensman playing just the last 5 games of the season, has come in to do well for the Redskins, and we'll look for him to get some more ground yardage as most of Fort Loramie's offense goes through the ground. As I mentioned, the 222 yards average on the season. There's a little misdirection, but Minster reads it well. Short game. Jared Meyer not going anywhere as Adam Bainline there on the stop for the Wildcats. So long distance here on third down. Take another look at it. Minster not fooled. And on the bottom of the pile there, you see number 36, Adam Bainline. So 3rd and 7 from the 27. Fort Loramie, a little bit of pressure now on their offense. Try to move the chains. Drew Rorman rolls out, will keep it. He misses a couple tackles and will gain a first down. Good run by number 15, Drew Worman. Didn't look initially like he had much room, but swept through a would-be tackler and moves the chain. So good effort by number 15, Drew Worman, 6-foot senior. Take another look at it here as he just simply, there was a tackle to be made. As I believe it was Jared Toby just ran by him, and an important play for the Redskins as they move the chains, and will look to do so again as we're under 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Fort Loramie in their second possession. Worman rolls to the right, hit as he throws, intercepted. The first interception by Worman on the season is picked up by Peter Ranley. I'm sorry, Jonathan Niemeyer. I think it was 45. 45 on the interception. Peter Ranley. Big play by Peter Ranley. Drew Worman, his first INT of the season. The Wildcats take over on great field position from the 37-yard line of the Redskins. Tough break for Fort Loramie as they had gotten a first down. Went to the air, and Ranley with the good read on defense and comes up with the interception. Reverse now, Smeezing. He breaks a couple tackles, but will just get back to the line of scrimmage. So good job by the Fort Loramie Redskins not over pursuing. Actually get a loss of the play, and what a big play there by the defense. And it was actually Drew Worman, the quarterback on offense, but this time coming in making a tackle for loss. So 2nd and 11. So Minster's had some negative plays, whether it's via the penalty or some of the runs, but they were able to, basically through Evan Hilsman, make up for that. But on the last drive, stalled inside the red zone, and that time, Evan Hilsman, about a 4-yard pickup. Cody Barhorst on the tackle for the Redskins. So 3rd and 8, and that Fort Loramie defense, get their names here. It's kind of tough with Minster going so quick after the play. 3rd and 8. Looking for Jacob Dews. It is broken up, and that defensive starting unit for Fort Loramie, left end Frank Meyer, tackles Dylan Eilerman and Josh Siegel. Right end Nate Plyman. Linebacker Jacob Kitzmiller. Middle linebacker Dan Burning. Rover linebacker Brad Plyman. Strong safety Cody Gassin. Right corner Aaron Ploss. Left corner Jarrett Meyer. And free safety Drew Worman, your starting defensive unit. They're looking right now to try to get the Minster offense to turn it over again on 4th down. It's 4th and 8. They were able to do so on the first Minster drive. Inside slant to Smeezing. He's fast, able to break a tackle, and that will move the chain. So Smeezing runs through an arm tackle, and the Minster Wildcats get a huge play on 4th down. Inside slant, take another look at it here, and Smeezing, when he's in space, very difficult. Right there, breaks through a tackle that would have stopped him short. So good strength by Bryce Smeezing. First down for the Wildcats. Nixon looking to Jacob Dews on this side. Pass broken up again by the Redskins. Cody Gassin doing a real nice job on a very good Minster wide receiver, Jacob Dews, and appeared from my vantage point that nearly it was almost intercepted on the deflection. It falls to the ground. Stops the clock with just 33 seconds left in the first quarter. So Minster will try to capitalize off of the Fort Loramie turnover, the first of the game. They will give it to Evan Hilsman. He will try to stutter step, but stood up by a host of Fort Loramie Redskins and not able to break free. It's a short gain. And Josh Siegel in on a tackle for the Fort Loramie Redskins. Time winding down here in the first quarter. Clock at 10 seconds and running. We'll see once they'll try to squeeze another one in here. And it looks like, nope, they'll bring him over to the sideline. So 12 minutes are in the books. We're scoreless here at Minster. You're watching Week 11 football tournament action here on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
12 minutes in the books. Neither team has scored yet. Minster knocking on the door again. They got an interception by Peter Ranley to start this drive, and they have worked it down the field. This is really the first time in the game that we've had any activity on this left side of the field. The west side, as most of the game has been played on Fort Loramie's side, the east side, but right now we switch ends. 3rd and 8, the Fort Loramie defense will... Well, hold on a second. We have a timeout. So we'll take a quick timeout. Actually, we'll keep it right here. And I'll go through some of our sponsors for tonight's game. They are Cody Plumbing, St. Mary's Trucking, Minster Bank, Minster Dental, Elmwood Assisted Living, Radio Hospital, Keyhole Pizza, our scoreboard sponsor as always, First National Bank, Think First. Our replay sponsor tonight is brought to you by Sydney Body Car Star. Our keys to the game brought to you by Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Salina, where the dealer makes the difference. And we also want to thank McDonald's for sponsoring our players of the game for both the Minster and Fort Loramie team. Thank you to McDonald's for that award. And we would like to also thank all these sponsors that allow us to bring you this. And tonight it's, again, tournament football, Week 11 between the Minster Wildcats and the Fort Loramie Redskins. So after a quarter break and a timeout, we are set now to make the first play of the second quarter. 3rd and 8 facing the Wildcats. Nixon will look. Has Smeezing open. He's tackled down at the 1-yard line. Nice pass and catch. Smeezing catches the pass. His 56th catch on the season. Came in with 55 catches. And they go hurry up right back to the line of scrimmage with Evan Hilsman. And he has stopped. There is a fumble down. I thought I saw the beanbag. Well, the Minster appears to have recovered it if it was one. Maybe not, but it'll be 2nd and short, and they will quickly go back to work. Bryce Smeezing on the season after that catch came into the game with 7 receiving touchdowns. Jacob Dews with 12 receiving touchdowns. Wildcats will hand off to Hilsman. He will lumber through for the game's first score. Touchdown run of about 2 yards by Evan Hilsman. His 10th rushing touchdown of the season. Minster Wildcats take the first lead of the game, and they'll send Jason Schultz out to do the point after. Long snappers Jack Puppelman, the holder Josh Nixon, and following this PAT, we'll take a look at the catch that got the Minster Wildcats down to the 2, and then the run by Hilsman as, boy, plenty of distance on that ball, and it is good. 7-0 your score. And we'll take a quick look here at, this is the pass that set it up. A lot of time for Nixon. Smeezing, good target. good hands down to the goal line area. And then on second down, Evan Hillsman right through the middle of the line, in for the score. And at the 11-16 mark, Minster's first points of the game. So now Fort Loramie, who's had a couple first downs, one in each of their first two drives, will look to try to put together consecutive first downs and move the chains and get into the Minster side of the field. They do have the wind at their back here now at the second quarter. The last pass by Drew Worman was intercepted. I believe that was his first interception thrown this season, or he's played in the 6 games or 7 games, I guess, so his first interception. Brad Plyman and Carter Mesher in the back to receive the kickoff by Jason Schultz. He will line it up on the near side hash at the 40-yard line. 9-play drive by the Wildcats, capped off by Evan Hilsman. And now Schultz will put the ball into play. Line drive kick picked up. And a good field position out across the 46. So the receiver there, Alec Holdhouse. Alec with a line drive, or a ground ball of sorts, fielded it cleanly and went forward to give his team good field position here near the midfield stripe at the Fort Loramie 46. Now we'll see if Coach Parks' offensive unit can move the ball against this Minster defense. Snap goes to Carter Mesher. He is tackled for a gain of 3. It'll go through that Minster defense. Defensive lineman Ryan Brown, nose tackle Reed Frick. Defensive lineman Josh Odding. Strong safety Jared Hilsman. Linebacker Peter Ranley. Linebacker Evan Hilsman. Linebacker Adam Bainline. Strong safety Jared Toby. Cornerback Johnny Niemeyer. Cornerback Jacob Stetscholde. And free safety Jacob Dews. So far, the Minster defense has been doing well against this Fort Loramie offense. Freshman Carter Mesher scoots through and across the line to gain. So good little scamper right there by Carter Mesher. Very quick on his feet. Is the 5'10", 150-pound running back, and that'll move the chain. So that'll be the third first down by the Redskins. One in each of their previous 3 drives, or counting this one. So they will look to continue that success as they are into Minster territory. Mesher again, this time Minster stuffs the middle. Small gain. Adam Bainline on the tackle for the Wildcats. So second and long. Mesher with the carry again. He is stopped short for a short gain. So 3rd and 6 or 7. Minster defense that time not fooled, able to get a good hand on the running back. And so 3rd and 6 or 7, but you got to think now the Redskins with the ball across the Minster side, if they don't get all the yards necessary, possibly would go for it. So a couple, 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 in the backfield. Worman rolls to the right, look pass, he'll keep it, and he has run out of bounds. No yards, actually loss of 1. Evan Hilsman probably would get almost credit for the sack on that, as there was no gain. Hilsman leads the team in sacks, him and Josh Odding each with 4.5 sacks on the season. But that will apparently bring up the punting unit. There's just too much distance as that's Cody Gassin for the Redskins. He's a 5'9 junior. And the only returner back for the Wildcats is Bryce Smeezing. Minster, all other 10 guys lined up in the box, possibly looking maybe for a fake, but they will let Smeezing retrieve it. He catches it on his shoulder at the 3. The ball was heading for the end zone, but Smeezing risked and basically gets it where it would have gone if it would have gone into the end zone, right near the 20-yard line. That's where Minster will start their offensive series, as they were successful on the last drive, capitalizing on a Fort Loramie turnover by Peter Ranley. Ranley's first interception on the season. And a 9-play drive then by the Wildcats put the first points on the board here in the second quarter. So 3 wide receivers to the right and a wide receiver here on the bottom of the screen. Nixon will hand off to Hillsman, possibly a face mask. Nope, tackled on the shirt. So Hillsman, little gain. Frank Meyer on the tackle, and a good tackle by the 6'4", 195-pound junior. The Fort Loramie defense is going to have their hands full now to try to stop the Minster offense, try to force a punt into the wind. Nixon reads and holds on. And he has a 6-yard carry, so nice job by Nixon. So Josh Siegel on the tackle for Fort Loramie, but this will bring up now 3rd and short. So 3rd and 3 feet for the Wildcats offensive unit. They will bring it out here to Hillsman. He'll dance around, get a block, and break through it, and didn't need a lot, got a little. They got enough, I should say, and that's will move the chains. And again, Minster, they've had a lot of 3rd down opportunities tonight. So they move the chains. Minster kind of known for some big play offensive. Haven't come up with a great big home runs, but they've had a lot of singles, you could say, as they've been consistent, getting yards at chunks. Had some penalties that set them back, but they've been able to overcome them. And Hillsman will be wrapped up and dropped for a very short gain. So 2 yards on the carry. Dan Burning on the tackle for the Fort Loramie Redskins. As I mentioned, Minster now this year in Division 7. Very successful in Division 6 last year, winning the state title. They will look to try to bounce back and extend this season. Fort Loramie has been to the playoffs 7 straight times. 6 under former coach Matt Bergbacher, and now 1 under Coach Whit Parks, who spent some time here at Minster in his career, who again recently received his 200th or earned his 200th high school victory, as Jack Puppelman on that inside screen was lost for a yard or so. Drew Werman read that well, or was it 19 maybe? Possibly number 19 on the tackle, Aaron Ploss, but well read by the Redskins. Is now 3rd and 2 lines to gain. They've been in numerous situations where they've actually been behind the original line, and then bad snap at his ankles. Nixon in trouble. Will try to throw it out. He's hit as he throws and had a receiver in the area. So it will go as an incomplete pass, and Minster will be forced to punt their first punt of the game. And that'll be 4th and long. Josh Nixon will do the punting duties, and they will again punt into at least looking at the flag, a somewhat of a brisk wind, especially if the ball gets high in the air. We'll see if Nixon will try to shoot a line drive down the field as Mesher, one of the receivers in the backfield for the Redskins, to receive the punt. And there's a line drive punt. Good hop. Good return. Number 20, Brad Plyman, got a real nice hop on the punt. Moved it across Minster, the 50-yard line, into Minster territory, right about the 42-yard line. So again, good field position for the Fort Loramie Redskins. They will be given another chance here to try to put some points on the board. It's a good field position for the number 8 seed in this Region 26 tournament. They're squaring off with the top seed Minster Wildcats. These two teams met back in August. Minster dominated that game 41-7. Boy, Carter Mesher, good speed to the outside. About a 15-plus yard carries. He went in and then out. Number 3, Carter Mesher, did not play in the first game against the Wildcats and has been very good for the Redskins the last half of the season. Big chunky yards for the freshman. And the ball now down just outside the red zone as they get it down to the 21-yard line. Mesher 46 yards already. So Werman will, now they'll give it direct snap to Mesher. He goes through 2 or 3 defenders. He's inside the red zone down to just beyond the 15-yard line. Put it down closer to the 11 or 12. So that'll be 2nd down and 2. Good run by Carter Mesher. So 7-0 here as we go under the 4.5-minute mark of this second quarter. Fast-moving game with a lot of with both teams running the ball, especially the Fort Loramie Redskins keeping the clock rolling. Mesher goes left, has a couple blockers, gets a first down. It should be 1st and goal from about the 9. So they'll have the first down. They'll also have the maximum distance as the field gets very short now. As the defenders will be right up on the line of scrimmage as well with the short field to defend. So Fort Loramie, a score here would even it up with the pending the PAT, could even it up at 7 apiece. Mesher inside to 5, give him down to maybe the 4. Oh, that was Drew Werman. Sorry, that was Werman, the ball carrier. So the Redskins positive yards once again. As there you take a look at Werman on the left 15 and Mesher, number 3, the freshman. They will reset. Nice drive here put together by Coach Whit Park's offensive unit. Stood up for a little gain. Mesher nowhere to go. Yeah, a host of Wildcats. Ranley in on the tackle. One of the many Wildcats there is now 3rd and goal. So remember this, they got the ball inside the 10, which gave them the first down, but it also gave them 1st and 9. So they had basically the maximum distance to go as they will try to get a play to get a touchdown in this or probably the next attempt. They do have 2 timeouts left as the play clock now down to 4 seconds. 2-1 to get it off in time. They throw it. It is caught. Wow. Nate Plyman on the reception. Beautiful play by the Fort Loramie Redskins. Werman hits Plyman. So they mix it up, sneak Plyman in the back or into the back of the end zone, and Werman connects on his 7th touchdown of the season. Josh Siegel on the point after touchdown here. And it is good. So before we go away, we're going to actually take a look at some of those key plays in this Fort Loramie drive. They got great field position to start following the punt, and Mesher here with a positive run on the first down. Got him near the 20. Again, another nice run by Carter Mesher down near the 10. And then Mesher to the left. This was the first down carry that set up the 1st and 9, and this is your touchdown, I believe. Let's watch Drew Werman catch it, and sneaking in the back is number 80, Nate Plyman. So nice job by the Fort Loramie Redskins. They tie things up at 7-7 with 2:22 left in the second quarter. So nice drive. And we are tied up here at Minster with Wildcats. Plenty of time. Wildcats have 2 timeouts left, so depending what type of field position they get here on the kickoff, plenty of time for them to drive down and get into scoring position. Josh Siegel kicks down to the 10. And the return goes out near the 30 by Jared Hillsman. So the Wildcats will take over 2 minutes, 17 seconds left. They do have the 2 timeouts.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
So Minster Wildcats tied up here at 7 apiece against the Fort Loramie Redskins. We'll send 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Nixon will trot back behind center. Actually in the pistol formation. And 1 receiver to the top. And down the field, Smeezing catches it across midfield. The clock will stop as they reset the chains, but that's a nice pickup to the Fort Loramie 49, and Minster will quickly line up and get ready to snap. Nice play on 1st down, clock running as we approach the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. Minster again, the 2 timeouts, plenty of time. Hand off to Evan Hillsman. Nice positive yards for Hillsman. He lumbers forward for about 6.
Run by number 24, Evan Wilson, across the 44-yard line. Tackled by 25, Daniel Burney.
Daniel Burning for the Redskins on the tackle. Nixon resets his line. Downfield, plenty of time for Nixon. Dews down on the sideline. It's picked off, but I believe out of bounds. That might be Drew Werman. Oh, Carter Mesher. Carter Mesher, I believe, the defender. So, again, another nice play defensively by the Fort Loramie Redskins. Good protection for Josh Nixon. Offensive line for the Wildcats done a heck of a job, giving him time to throw. That stops the clock, minute 28, minute 29, I should say. 3rd down, 5. Minster got that big 1st down catch from Smeezing that got the ball inside the 50. Shovel pass to that Chad Stoner, number 8. Stoner the catch. That's a 1st down. So nice offensive play there by the Wildcats. And again, the clock reset under a minute 20, clock running. Nixon tries to wedge it into Smeezing, and boy, that was a tough pass. He's had a couple Redskins, 1 in front of Smeezing, 1 behind him. Pass goes incomplete. Long pass diagonally. Gave the Redskins defender a chance to slide over. Incomplete pass. We'll stop the clock with a minute 10 left. So the Wildcats here trying to get some points on the board. They will receive the second half kickoff. So if they can score now before half, they will have a chance to get back-to-back scores with the opening kick in the second quarter, or third quarter. Smeezing a little bit behind him. He's able to turn and catch, but will not hold on to it long enough to make an offensive play, so it'll be an incomplete pass. A little bit behind him. Smeezing, I thought, had it, but not able to maintain the catch. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10 now. So Fort Loramie defense has done an admirable job so far here in the first half, holding the Wildcats to just 7 points. credit also to that Fort Loramie offense, really taking a lot of time. I believe Minster's only in their 4th possession. So Nixon on the 3rd and 10 will give to Evan Hillsman. He will go right off the left side, down near the 31-32. Minster will burn their 2nd timeout. We'll take a timeout with them with 56 seconds to go in the half. You're watching high school football on NKTelco Sports.
What's your life missing? Find out at Elmwood.
Welcome back as the big down coming up here. 4th down. Wildcats trying to score before half, have taken their 2nd timeout. They have 1 left. But what a interesting game we've had tonight. Fort Loramie has come out, played well on both sides of the ball. Minster just hasn't had a lot of opportunities. They did turn it over on downs, scored on a possession, had a punt, and I'm pretty sure this is their 4th possession, so they will come up with a big 4th down. I believe they're 1 for 1 here on the game from 4th down. Nixon, a lot of time, finds Jacob Deuce, breaks a tackle or 2 and gets inside the 10. Huge play on 4th down. 50 seconds to go. The clock will stop as they reset the chains. Minster still with the 1 timeout. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Nixon again will lob one or throw it hard. Boy, what a bullet pass. 8-yard catch from Nixon to Jacob Dews. So nice job by the Minster Wildcats. With not much time, they manufacture just a heck of a drive. And a point after touchdown here pending will put them up by 7 with just 43 seconds to go in the first half. Schultz will push it right, so we'll keep an eye on that. The PAT's missed, just a 2nd miss on the season. So we'll take a look again at some of our highlights here of that Minster drive that after the Fort Loramie touchdown, the first one that started the drive. What a positive play that was to get your offensive momentum going, and then another good run here around the left side. Nice shovel pass there to Stoner. That was a 1st down catch. And there was Dews getting them down inside the red zone. And then the final pass, a bullet right on the back shoulder. Nice camera work by Daniel Allen, catching all that, thanks to him and Kurt Kuffner on the field. Our producer tonight is John Qualhorst. I'm Jeff Henson. We have a great ball game here at Minster as the Wildcats own a 13-7 lead. Just 43 seconds left. Fort Loramie not with a lot of time. They do have 2 timeouts. Normally Fort Loramie does their offense, if you will, on the ground and pound attack, so need to get a good return and see once if they can, again, try to get in the scoring position. The final 43 seconds before the halftime. Another line drive kick, good hop. A decent field position, another good return. I believe that was returned by number 80. Nate Plyman. So Plyman, 6-foot junior, will give his team again strong or good field position. Now whether or not Fort Loramie will air it out, you'd hate to risk a turnover here and a quick score return, if you will, on that interception. And Fort Loramie's been able to move the ball at times, especially on the last drive that culminated in their touchdown. Mesher stopped for no gain. And depending on when the clock is reset, that could have been the last play, as I would assume Fort Loramie would be content with the 13-7 score as the teams begin to lean towards the locker room, and apparently that will be the final play of the first half. A good ball game so far by both teams. The Wildcats will head to the locker room with a 13-7 lead over the Redskins. We'll be back after halftime with high school football on NKTelco Sports.
Keep connected with the latest technology. Download your favorite videos and music. Join in the social buzz, all from your cool smartphone or tablet. If it's time to update your phone or tablet, the experienced professionals at Radio Hospital can help. With cutting-edge devices, awesome service, and a fun experience, you're sure to find the perfect devices for your lifestyle, all at prices you'll love. And be sure to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter for all the latest technology trends. Radio Hospital is keeping you connected.
Hi, I'm Bob from the Keyhole, located on 66. We've been family owned and operated for 30 years. Personally, I think we still make the best pizza in the area. I use a special sausage. Cut fresh ingredients, shred cheese every day. We didn't make a pizza to make a profit. We made a pizza the way we wanted to eat it. Stop in, try us out, dine in, or carry out. We also have karaoke every other Saturday.
Cody Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Welcome back to Minster, where the Fort Loramie Redskins and Minster Wildcats are at halftime. The Wildcats lead by 6, 13-7, and with our first half stats, look like this. Minster with 9 first downs compared to 5 for Fort Loramie. Rushing yards, Fort Loramie with 86, Minster with 67. Passing yards in favor of the Wildcats. They have 109 yards compared to just 4 yards passing for the Redskins. Time of possession pretty even. The Redskins have maintained the ball 12 minutes, 25 seconds. Minster 11 minutes, 35 seconds. Scoring got underway. There was no scoring in the first quarter. Second quarter at the 11:16 mark, Evan Hilsman rushes for his 10th touchdown, a 1-yard run. Point after made it 7-0. Fort Loramie then at the 2:22 mark of the second quarter was a Drew Werman to Nate Plyman 4-yard touchdown pass. For Werman, his 7th pass on the season for touchdown. For Plyman, his 4th reception on the season. The PAT made it 7-all. Minster responded back just before halftime with a nice drive, and at the 43-second mark, Josh Nixon connects with Jacob Dews for an 8-yard touchdown. For Nixon, his 23rd TD on the season passing. For Jacob Dews, his 13th reception. The PAT was missed. Just a second PAT missed this year by Jason Schultz. And that's where our score is at. 13-7 here at Minster. And the Wildcats, who won the coin toss beginning of the game, deferred. They will get now the ball back and a chance to basically score in back-to-back possessions, as they were successful with that touchdown near the end of the half, not giving Fort Loramie really any chance to run offense other than just one play, and then the clock ran out for halftime. So Minster can spread themselves open here a little bit if they can score and force a team like Fort Loramie that doesn't throw the ball much to pressure their offense on that ground game to score quicker and in bunches. But right now the Fort Loramie defense has been good all night. They've been good defending passes, but have given up the 2 touchdowns, and it'll be up to their offense to try to answer for Coach Whit Park's squad. On the other side, Garen Stokes. His team will look to try to answer here on their first possession. So we are set now as we start this 12-minute third quarter action. A short kickoff will be fielded by the Wildcats. It is dropped but picked up then by number 11, Jared Toby. So It was fumbled and repicked, and Toby picks it up, and we'll have the ball out to the 25-yard line. Josh Nixon in that first half was 9 of 20 through the air, the 109 yards. As I mentioned before, he did throw his 23rd touchdown. And that is where the Wildcats will start now. Fort Loramie Minster's offensive line, centered by Jesse Burkhead. Guards are Josh Odding and Isaac Dorston. Tackles Pierce McGowan and Derek Gresham. And Hilsman, powers through for a first down. Give Evan Hilsman 11 yards on that game. And that front line I just mentioned, McGowan, Odding, Burkhead, Dorston, Gresham, a big part of that effort by Evan Hilsman. And your fullback Peter Ranley, your wide receivers Jacob Dews, Jake Puppelman, Bryce Smeezy, and your quarterback Josh Nixon, and your tailback Evan Hilsman. There's a whistle, maybe some equipment for the Fort Loramie Redskins. Actually a timeout by the Redskins, a quick timeout, their first of the half. We'll take a timeout with them and be back with more football on NKTelco Sports.
There's a lot of early mornings that go into 40 years of service, a lot of miles on these tires, and millions of pounds of cargo have traveled in these trailers. It's about dependable service, the kind of service that shows up 30 minutes early every time, that gets your products, cargo, and business from point A to point B safely, quickly, and efficiently. We are St. Mary's Trucking, traveling the roads of commerce in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Men and women who produce the solutions that make your business grow, because the most important thing to them is you.
Fort Loramie takes a timeout very early here in the third quarter. Saw something they didn't like. And that Fort Loramie defensive line, anchored by linemen Ryan Brown, Reed Frick, that's Minster. I have to get you Fort Loramie's defensive line here. As Jacob Dews the catch for about 9 or 10 yards. So they connect. And a good start now for the Minster Wildcats as they come out very aggressive here in the second half. Another first down. Quickly again, they line right back up and waste very little time getting their offense set. Hilsman, bust 3. Big chunk of yards, tackled by Werman, but not until Hilsman gets positive yards. Hilsman thought he landed kind of awkwardly. He's almost looks like he's favoring something. I'm not real sure. He will come out, and he will be replaced by number 22 for the Wildcats, Jared Hilsman. So we'll keep an eye on Evan Hilsman, who has a big yard run there from the 46 down to the 26. Jared Hilsman, number 22, short gain, tackled by a trio of Redskins. Defensive line for the Redskins. Left end, Frank Meyer. Tackles, Dylan Eilerman, Josh Siegel. Right end, Nate Plyman. Linebackers, Jacob Kitzmiller, Dan Burning, Brad Plyman. Strong safety, Cody Gassin. Right corner, Aaron Ploss. Left corner, Jarrett Meyer. And your free safety, Drew Werman. They've been pretty good tonight against a very potent Minster offense, but they have their hands full right now as Minster's open up the third quarter very aggressively. Josh Nixon keeps it. And he gets inside the 20, and that'll bring up third down and 4. So Minster with a good performance here to take that opening kick and threatening to try to put basically back-to-back touchdowns on the board before Fort Loramie's offense really has a legitimate chance. So Minster has not turned the ball over yet tonight, and Fort Loramie, if they could force one on defense, that would be a huge benefit. There's a battle. It appears to be intercepted, but there is a penalty flag down, so we'll see if they got DPI or OPI. It is against Fort Loramie, so they will call defensive pass interference. Well, they signaled touchdown, and they will reconvene here. Pass interference defense. Pass. That penalty will be accepted. So it'll remain Minster ball. And again, Fort Loramie's done a nice job for the most part defending down the field, and that time came up with the interception, but had some contact while the ball was in the air evidently, and that will negate the first turnover. Just what I was speaking of is that the defense for Fort Loramie could come up with a stop. Anything right now to keep the points off the board. Minster gets a break there. Nixon will air it out again. That time Jacob Dews off the back shoulder had it and dropped it. Very tough to defend as those two have worked that play to perfection throughout the season, and a sharp throw, and Jacob Dews just not able to garner it, and that will stop the clock and give Minster another chance at 2nd down and 9. So again, they have it 1st and goal, but the maximum distance to go, a long 9 yards. Hilsman inside the 5, a shoestring tackle, ankle tackle. That'll bring up now 3rd and goal, tackled by Brad Plyman. So a couple plays here. You'd think Minster, if they don't get it on 3rd, possibly would go for it on 4th. Although a field goal would make it a 2-possession game. So Minster hoping for the touchdown. Fort Loramie's got their hands full on defense to keep the Wildcats out of the end zone. Nixon keeps it. And he is short, so good job by the Redskins. So we'll find out what the Wildcats want to do. 4th down. Dylan Eilerman on the stop, and it looks like they're going to send in Jason Schultz. He's 2 for 3 on the season. His long is 43. This one would be a 21-yard field goal attempt. So Josh Nixon, the holder. High snap to get it down. Strong leg, plenty of leg. It is good. So a 21-yard field goal by Jason Schultz. That makes the score 16-7 in favor of Minster. A good opening drive to start the second half. Credit, though, to Fort Loramie's defense. They do keep the Wildcats out of the end zone, but now it is a 2-possession game. So the Fort Loramie offense will have their first crack at it here in the second half. And they will look to try to respond with points of their own. They'll be facing or going into the wind here in the 3rd quarter. So the Wildcats consume just under 4 minutes on that drive. And again, the 21-yard field goal by Jason Schultz. He's now on the season 3 for 4. And the number 1 seed, Minster Wildcats, now opened up a 9-point spread. It's Coach Garen Stokes' team taking on the Fort Loramie Redskins head coach Whit Parks, who I mentioned earlier, picked up his 200th high school career victory late in this season. Congratulations to Coach Whit Parks. He's put a lot of time into football coaching in one way or the other. Again, spent some time here at Minster as well. So Schultz will boot it from the 40 with the wind is back. Anticipate this one going near the end zone. And that one does drive and lands into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback. And that's where the Redskins offense will go to work here. 80 yards to go for the touchdown. And their offense, again, dominated on the ground. Will look to try to get some scoring done here on this drive. Their offensive line, your center is Tate Schultes, your right guard Dylan Eilerman, your left guard Nolan Holthouse, right tackle Mike Hoyne, left tackle Sam Putoff, ends are Blake Geyer and Dan Burning, your wing back. There's Carter Mesher, who had a good first half, strung out for a short gain. You also have Nate Plyman as your tight end, your quarterback Drew Werman, your H-back Jacob Kitzmiller, and your running back Carter Mesher. And this is our first look here at the second half for the Fort Loramie Redskins. In that first half, Carter Mesher 12 carries for 58 yards. Also Drew Werman 6 carries for 25 yards to lead the Redskin ground attack that netted 86 rushing yards. And the 4-yard passing in the first half, those 4 yards resulted in a touchdown. Werman to Nate Plyman. Boy, more speed. Werman trying to get outside. He does for a bit. Had a game earlier this season against Lehman Catholic. Werman busted one. I think it was for 91 yards. Watch it again here. Just good speed, good decision. And right there when he pops out, you thought he had an angle. And basically got tripped up by his own teammate a bit. Don't know if he would have gotten much farther, but a positive pickup for the Redskins. They move the chains as the clock winds and gets near the 7-minute mark of this third quarter. Werman gets the ball and will be smothered for a short gain of 2 or 3. Ben Putoff, number 65, in on the tackle. So 2nd down and 8. Again, Fort Loramie will load up the backfield of the line. Don't have anyone out wide on either side. This is Carter Mesher, gets a block, gets outside, and it's strung out nicely by the Minster defense. So they will limit Carter Mesher to minimal gain, and a 3rd down play coming up here, big play for the Minster defense, as they can probably force a punt if they can hold on 3rd down. So a big play here defensively for the Wildcats, and probably a bigger play for that Fort Loramie offense right now is being behind. Hate to give the ball back to Minster. So we'd like to get a 1st down effort here, and they will not do so. Nowhere for Carter Mesher to go. So he is stifled. Jared Toby, Evan Hillsman in on the stop, and after that 1st down run by Werman, nothing working the next 3 plays, and a punt coming up. It will be Cody Gassin. He'll drop back and take the snap on a 25-yard line. 1 man back and 10 up for the Wildcats. And Smeezing will call for the fair catch and take it on the 35-yard line. Minster's defense does the job. Their offense gets the ball back, and Minster will look to score their 3rd straight possession. They've had a touchdown before half, missed the extra point, and then responded with a field goal in their 2nd possession, the first of the 2nd half, but then consecutive scoring possessions for the Wildcats. As Nixon hustles in with the play called, and he will quickly line them up again and put that Minster offense into motion. Clock starts with 5:22 left in the 3rd quarter. Dews with a nice catch. Beautifully thrown ball in stride. Pretty well defended also. Just all together, nice play by the Minster offense. Cody Gassin stride for stride with Dews, but Nixon threw it right where they couldn't get it. And again, now the Wildcats really building momentum offensively. They've got it into Fort Loramie territory. Nixon will stutter step around, go forward for a positive play of 6 yards. So the Wildcats get it inside the 30. Dan Burning part of that tackle, but not until Nixon earns 6. So another big play, or another big possession coming up here for the Wildcats. Still just in the third quarter, but boy, Fort Loramie would hate to fall down further. They will try to get a stop here, but Hillsman just in that offensive line, moving Hillsman up near the first line. He maybe got it on his forward progress. Mentioned earlier how Fort Loramie really needs to create a turnover. They got one in their last possession, but not until they actually committed to pass interference, and that negated the touchdown, or I should say the interception in the end zone. So they will need some sort of big play like that to try to stop the Wildcats. They've got a good field goal kicker in Jason Schultz, so when you get a little bit more yards, they'll be in field goal range if they would like to try that. Minster right now will plan on trying to get a touchdown. They'll give it to Hillsman. He goes over left tackle, and another 5-yard gain. Close to the 20-yard line. Hillsman, in that first half, ran the ball 17 times for 61 yards. So Nixon will reload, and 2 receivers to the top, 1 on the bottom. Across the middle, pass deflected, broken up. Intended by Puppelman. Puppelman incomplete, the intended receiver. Drew Werman in the middle of that action, I believe got a hand on it to deflect it, so that'll bring up now 3rd down and 6. Minster's not had when I say big plays, they've had a lot of 3rd downs that they've been in, so they've converted a lot of the 3rd down opportunities. For the most part, Fort Loramie has kept everything in front of them, but Minster's getting chunks, 5 or 6 at a time, has been here of late, been making it very manageable. They'll swing it out quick to Hillsman. He will be tripped up, so again, another big play come up here. It'll be 4th and probably 1. Ball just inside or outside the 15-yard line, maybe the 16. So you're looking at a 33-yard field goal attempt. 34-yard field goal. And right now it appears Coach Stokes will keep the offensive unit on the field. And that is what they will do. 4th down, a long 2. 6 feet to go to keep the chains moving. Big play for the Fort Loramie defense. Nixon keeps it after the fake to Hillsman. Fooled me a bit. I thought Hillsman got the ball on this inside handoff, but Nixon keeps it. Good decision by Nixon, and they get the important 1st down at the 14-yard line. So not quite 1st and goal, but definitely inside the red zone as the Minster offense can really make things miserable here for the Redskins if they can convert now for a touchdown. Nixon again drops back. Jacob Dews, pass and catch. Jacob Dews, 14-yard pass. So Nixon and Dews hook up again for Jacob Dews, now his 14th touchdown catch on the season. Nixon his 24th pass on the season. So another strong offensive performance by the Wildcats here offensively. Schultz will look to connect on the PAT again, plenty of leg, and this time through the uprights. That makes the score 23-7 at the 2:22 mark. And if we have a chance here, we'll take a look at that touchdown pass of 14 yards. Wildcats now up by 16. And they've been scoring now consecutive possessions. 1 to end the half and then 2 to start the second half. And Fort Loramie's offense really going to have a tough time here as you take another look at the pass from Nixon right in between a couple Fort Loramie receivers, and Dews found the opening. Nixon hit him right where it had to be. And those two, again, have connected often. That's a 14th such combination between Nixon and Dews. And Minster's offense beginning to really perform at high energy now, very aggressive. Talked about getting off to a quick start. Minster's offense somewhat did, but it was maybe more the Fort Loramie offense that held the time of possession, didn't let Minster's offense get the ball that much. But here now with the 3 and outs or the short drives that Fort Loramie's produced, Minster's offense has been taking care of business and owned a 16-point lead, 2-possession game. The squib kick read well and fielded on the infield hop. Cody Barhorse, number 32, fields it and does a smart thing and gets down, gives his team pretty decent field position. Can't stress enough how important this drive is for the Redskins to try to get points on before the fourth quarter starts. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the third. Week 11 football action, and what that means then is the first round of tournament play here in Ohio High School Athletic Association competition. Mesher spins around, falls forward for a couple yards. Mesher doesn't get much there, and Minster's defense has been becoming very much more stingy, if you will, as they've not allowed Fort Loramie much here in the second half. Pretty good field position. We'll see once if Fort Loramie can capitalize here and maybe air one out. They've thrown very few passes. They throw a screen over here. It's kind of underthrown a little bit. It'll actually be a catch, and unfortunately, it'll be a loss of 1. So the pass a little back. Mesher catches it, his feet slide out, loses 1. And now 3rd and 2 lines to gain. So, boy, for a running team like this against a defensive Minster team, a very difficult task at hand for the Fort Loramie Redskins. Again, no wide receivers outside. Everyone bunched in between the tackles. Werman does step back, and he will not have a chance. He is sacked. Ben Putoff and also Jared Toby in on the sack. So those two combine and smother the quarterback of Fort Loramie. There's nothing downfield open. Werman ran out of time and not able to escape as the pocket really collapsed in a hurry on Werman, and they will force a punt by Cody Gassin. Again, this will be into the wind. And that will be fielded right at the 40-yard line. So Smeezing, nice job by the special teams coach. They've had Smeezing right at the correct yardage, if you will, that he's been able to fair catch the pass to and give the Wildcats, again, very nice field position to start yet another drive. They will look to score 4 times in a row. As we near the final 18 seconds of the third quarter, it's been all Minster Wildcats from about the 2:22 mark of the second quarter. That's when Fort Loramie tied it up at 7 apiece. Minster then took their ensuing possession and scored with 43 seconds left before halftime, and have answered with a field goal and a touchdown in their 2 possessions here in the third quarter. And Evan Hillsman just willing his way forward, and that first down will move the chains, stop the clock at 10 seconds. We'll see if Minster, with the wind to their back, will try to maybe air one out there. They do get one off. They keep it on the ground. Hillsman this time is still positive yards, but which is good on first down. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. that will expire the third period. We've completed 3 12-minute quarters here at Minster. We'll take a break and come back with final quarter here on NKTelco Sports.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Welcome back. Reminder that at the end of tonight's game, I will be selecting players of the game for both teams, and that is being brought to you tonight by McDonald's. So thank you to McDonald's for sponsoring the Minster and Fort Loramie player of the game. We will announce that at the conclusion of tonight's game. We still have 12 minutes to go, and right now the Wildcats have turned up the intensity, and they've been bringing their offensive attack, and their defense has also been playing very well, limiting the Redskins to just the 7 points. Nixon has Smeezing down the sideline. Boy, Smeezing wasn't wide open. He was being defended, able to kind of shield it off against Jarrett Meyer. Look at this nice arching pass. And Smeezing breaks away just at the final step, if you will, and Smeezing with the catch. The Wildcats inside the red zone at the 17-yard line. Hillsman off the left side. Downhill running. So inside the 10 to about the 8 or 7. So the Wildcats offensively through the air, now also on the ground, making it very difficult for the Fort Loramie Redskins defense, a defense that really played very well in the first half, stopping the Wildcats. And Hillsman will go in, 8-yard run. So Evan Hillsman adds another touchdown on his 11th rushing touchdown of the season, and Wildcats a point away from making this a 30-7 ball game. Jason Schultz he's hit the ball very well. He did miss one earlier on their second touchdown. And there's another strong kick. It is good, and at the 11:15 mark, the Wildcats of Minster have opened it up here. Take another look at the strong run, good blocking. Never really touched until way too late. And offensive line, credit for that blocking scheme, and Evan Hillsman, credit for getting the ball into the end zone. And right now the Wildcats in control and on their way, if you will, to week 12, which would be second round action. Those sites then, from here on, we played at neutral sites. So depending on who wins and who loses and such, that will determine their next opponent. If all goes as seeded, I believe they will play the winner of Ada and Riverside. Riverside and Fort Loramie tied in the Northwest Central Conference, each team with just one league loss. But the winner right now between Riverside, the 4 seed, and Ada, the 5 seed, pretty sure we'll play the winner of this 1-8 game at a site to be determined. Minster, their season, they finished in the MAC at 6-2 behind champions Coldwater, who finished 8-0, and Marion Local, who finished 7-1. Minster actually tied with Fort Recovery. The Indians of Fort Recovery, a nice season. They're also in the playoffs. They're playing Miami Valley Christian Academy tonight. And Schultz will kick it out just out of bounds before the cone. That'll be a penalty and move the ball out to about the, I think, 35-yard line. We'll see what's here. So that's where Fort Loramie now, again, the situation we talked about earlier or mentioned about being down big with a ground and pound attack. Very difficult to score quickly. But we'll see once right now what the offensive unit can do. It's when Fort Loramie's been able to move the ball on their scoring drive, they consumed a lot of clock and kept the ball out of Minster's hands. Have not been able to duplicate that with consistency. I believe that's Mesher. He has stood up for about 2 yards. Again, Mesher playing the final 5 games of the season for the Redskins, helping that offensive rushing attack. Clock continues to run, and Fort Loramie still on their regular offense. Snap goes to Mesher. He hands off. And nothing working, I believe. Jacob Stetscholde drew Werman the carrier. And Stetscholde is number 27 who made the punishing tackle. What a defensive line for the Wildcats. Getting into the backfield of the Redskins offense makes it very difficult right now for anything to work for the Redskins. They will line up now again, 3rd and long. Nolan Holthouse will snap it back to Werman. He will roll to the left. Nothing really open downfield, and before he can get rid of it, he is sacked by Evan Hilsman. So for Hilsman, he led the team. He and Josh Odding came in with each 4.5 sacks as the leaders for the Wildcats, and that one a big one. Will push the Redskins way back at 4th now and long. Is good coverage downfield by the Minster defense as no one was open, and Werman not able to escape the pressure from Hilsman, and that's will result yet in another punt by Cody Gassin. Bryce Smeezing standing on his 40. The ball is kicked out, and boy, it stops right at the 50. It's like a golf shot as he dropped it. Got no bounce either way. So it'll be Minster's ball actually inside the Fort Loramie 50-yard line, or right at the 50. So Wildcats up by 23. Just 9 minutes to go. Offense been very efficient, perfect on their drives here in the second half. They will continue that effort here the final 9 minutes. Again, Division 7 action tonight. Region 26, the number 1 seed Minster Wildcats taking on the number 8 seed Fort Loramie. Also the number 2 seed Covington playing number 7 Lehman Catholic. As I mentioned earlier before, 3 seed Fort Recovery taking on Miami Valley Christian Academy. There's a penalty as Hilsman with another strong run. And number 4 seed Riverside taking on number 5 seed Ada. And the penalty apparently will be against the Redskins. Personal foul, face mask. So tack on another 15. So the Wildcats will take that good chunky yards and move it further down the field as they will mark off the penalty yards. And inside the 30, the ball will be spotted. So Minster's offense, who's tough to stop in the first place, will get some help this time with the penalty yards, moving the ball further downfield, closer to that Fort Loramie goal line. Clock winds and runs with 8:44 to go in this 4th quarter action here from Minster High School. Nixon fakes inside, throws it, has Jack Puppelman just off of his fingertips. Excellent pass, good effort by Jack Puppelman. There's a flag, roughing the passer, I believe. So again, positive yards result even after the incomplete pass. Keep going down. So 14-yard line now for the Wildcats, and a heck of an effort by Jack Puppelman. Fingertip effort to no avail, but the penalty yards, back-to-back big chunk penalties against the Redskins, have the Wildcats inside the 20. Hillsman stood up and lost some yards there. Good job by the Fort Loramie defenders. Nolan Holdhouse in on that tackle. So loss of 3. And Wildcats go back to work now at the 17-yard line as we near the final 8 minutes. Minster will continue to go in rapid fashion. They try Puppelman again. This time again, the Willie Mays effort over the shoulder catch comes up to no avail. And that will stop the clock. 3rd down now and 13. Werman on coverage there against Jack Puppelman. So for a team that runs efficient offense quickly, in a game like this where it's not necessarily that close, you wonder what they would do if they could slow it down and consume some of the game clock or the play clock. Right now the game clock stopped at just under 8. They go to work with Evan Hillsman. Boy, could have been tackled beyond the line of scrimmage. Get some positive yards inside the 10, down to the 9. That will bring up 4th down. So again, we'll see once here if Coach Stokes will keep his offensive unit on the field. A 4th down and a long 4, maybe a short 5. Nixon trots back out, so apparently the Wildcats will try their success here on 4th down. So Nixon lines it up. 2 receivers off to the right, 2 off to the left. No one in the backfield but Nixon. The Redskins bring pressure. It is caught. Great catch. Jack Puppelman, they went to him 3 times in this drive. Heck of a catch as Nixon was under pressure. Fort Loramie brought the blitz. Nixon got rid of it just in time. And Puppelman with a great catch. Nixon with a good throw under pressure. And Schultz will come on to try to make it 37-7. Again, it apparently is long enough. It is good. 37-7 your score. The 7:07 mark of the ball game. We'll take a look here again. Watch the pressure by Fort Loramie. They get in on Nixon, and he quickly unloads it. A nice pass. Excellent catch by Jack Puppelman. That's a 30-point spread now, so the clock will run as the offense for Minster has come alive tonight. It's hard to believe that back in the second quarter, remember this was a scoreless first quarter. Neither team scores. Minster gets on the board early in the second quarter. Fort Loramie then responds back with a drive that netted or tied the game at 7 apiece at the 2:22 mark of the second quarter. Minster got that big touchdown at the end of half and have come back on 4 possessions with 3 touchdowns and a field goal here in the second half, and have put to rest the threat, if you will, from the Redskins to upset the number 1 seed Minster Wildcats. But just until basically recently, where the Redskins probably have been out of it, just have not been able to come up with the offensive series that they need. Minster's defense has made some big plays. Made it very difficult for the Redskins here in the second half, as Schultz will go back and drive the ball into the wind. Line drive kick, end over end, will be fielded. I believe that might be Werman. So it is. Drew Werman gets it out. 17. Jake Ward. So just 6 minutes, 31 seconds ago. Ball right at the 30-yard line. And the clock starts with the 30-point spread. So Fort Loramie right now just trying to put together a drive to basically finish the season for the Redskins. Come in with a record of 6-4. They lost their first 4 games of the season. So measure that time, a rare positive gain for the freshmen, but Fort Loramie, after losing their first 4 of the season, came back to win 6 in a row. So credit to Whit Parks and his team. They had to go through a new quarterback due to Austin Siegel getting hurt. Drew Werman has stepped in nicely, and they've been able to run off 6 wins in a row. But tonight, facing a very talented team offensively and also defensively. You might as well throw in special teams. Minster has some good kickers as well. So they've been executing on all 3 facets of that game. Mesher again near first down yards, gets about 9. Second down. Alex Olagus for the Wildcats in on the stop. As you get a good look there, second and a long one. Wildcats also winners of 6 in a row.
For the Wildcats, number 14, Kyle Heitkamp, and number 34, Zach Eiding.
Zach Eiding in for the ball game, and also Kyle Heitkamp for your Minster Wildcats in the backfield, defensive backfield. Straight Werman, positive yards right through the middle of the defense, and nice pickup.
Tackled by number 82, Zach Euchre, and number 5, Carter Hogenkamp.
Carter Hogenkamp in on the tackle, and also number 82, Zach Euchre. So a number of second stringers also for the Wildcats in for the ball game.
Especially my spotter, Steve Bruce.
So the Fort Loramie will finish out the season tonight, but right now trying to get some points on the board. Inside handoff. Nice play there. First down yardage by number 26, Jared Meyer. Jarrett Meyer with about 9 or 10 on that. Give him 8, I guess. So it'll be a second and short. And this is the Fort Loramie Redskins content now to run their offense, and they've done a lot of it on the ground this evening. One of their rare, and I think maybe their only completion, the 4-yard pass and catch from Werman to Nate Plyman. That tied the game at 7-all at 2:22 left in the second quarter. And from then you can basically say it was all Minster's. Werman keeps the ball and scampers down the sideline. First down yardage, he goes out of bounds. Clock continues to run. So Zach Eiding on the stop as he forces out Werman. Fort Loramie would love to get a score on the board before the game is over. They will have to do so in just over 3 minutes. They've got the ball on the 23-yard line. Mesher, I should say, around the left side. Strung out and tackled by Isaac Smeezing. It's a good play by Isaac Smeezing. If he doesn't get Mesher gets around that edge and a bigger chunk of yards. So 2nd and 7, under 2.5 minutes to go here from Minster. Division 7, Region 26. Pass attempt coming up by the Redskins. Open receiver, and it is incomplete. Knocked out of the hands of the receiver. Jarrett Meyer, the intended receiver. Carter Hogenkamp back there to basically knock it out of the hands of Jarrett Meyer. A good play by Hogenkamp, and that will keep the Redskins out of the end zone for right now. Though again, the clock continues to roll. 1:40 left, so the Redskins need to try to get their offense rolling here and try to get that score before the game expires. Couple handoffs, couple pitches. And Werman is tackled. Werman with the carry. Wildcats were not fooled as Isaac Smeezing and also Dan Becker, number 59, in on the stop. So a couple handoffs there. Doesn't fool the Wildcats, and this brings up 4th down with a minute to go. They will keep it, and Mesher will be stopped short. It's going to be about a half a yard short, I believe. And that will be a turnover on downs. Fort Loramie will not get the final score of the game, and that will wind the clock and be the ball game. The Minster Wildcats, 37-7. As the offense for the Wildcats running on all cylinders, the defense also making some big plays and limiting the Fort Loramie offense to very little in the second half, as Wildcats will be forced to take one snap. They're in victory formation. They will earn a right to play in week 12. Hustling in number 70, Gavin Bernhold, is that was what they're waiting on. There's your snap, there's your knee. And the game is now over. The Wildcats 37, Fort Loramie Redskins 7. The players will meet and greet at the midfield. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Minster on NKTelco Sports.
You owe it to yourself twice a year a checkup at Minster Dental Care. Our specialized doctors, Jim Overman, Jim Myring, Sean Sharp, and Philip Slunkowski, are ready to give you the smile you've always dreamed of at any stage of your life. Pediatric, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry are just a few of the services offered. Our latest advancements include CEREC dentistry that allows us to create and deliver a crown in one convenient visit. We're located on State Route 66 in Minster, 419-628-3380 to schedule your appointment today. You owe it to yourself.
My name is John Kramer. I am 90 years old. I've decided that it was time for me to go to assisted living. I lived by myself for 14 years. I knew I was getting older and life was harder to live. I fell down a couple times at home. I decided that Elmwood was the place for me to go. It's like a family in there. Choose Elmwood. I believe it.
Independence is something you can easily take for granted. For the elderly and disabled, independence can be especially challenging and require more thought and planning. As a caregiver or family member, how do you keep a loved one active, independent, and safe? Radio Hospital has a solution to provide users and their families with security and convenience, both inside the home as well as out and about, with the press of a single button. Whether you need assistance for yourself or a loved one, visit your nearest Radio Hospital location.
Hi, I'm Bob from the Keyhole, located on 66. We've been family owned and operated for 30 years. Personally, I think we still make the best pizza in the area. I use a special sausage. Cut fresh ingredients, shred cheese every day. We didn't make a pizza to make a profit. We made a pizza the way we wanted to eat it. Stop in, try us out, dine in, or carry out. We also have karaoke every other Saturday.
Welcome back to Minster, where the Wildcats have earned tonight's victory, 37-7 over the Fort Loramie Redskins. And a quick recap of our game numbers. In the game, the Fort Loramie Redskins rush for 149 yards. The Wildcats get 181 yards on the ground. Passing yards, Fort Loramie with just net 1 yard passing. The Wildcats with 203 yards passing. Leading rusher for the game for the Fort Loramie Redskins is Carter Mesher, 21 carries for 96 yards for the freshman. And For the Minster Wildcats, Evan Hulsman, 29 carries, 156 yards. He also had a couple scores for the Wildcats on the ground. And just one turnover committed in the game, and that was interception by Peter Ranley. Other than that, a very clean, well-played game by both teams. The Minster offense, who was scoreless in the first quarter. Both teams scoreless in the first. They explode for 13 in the second, 10 in the third, and 14 in the fourth. The Redskins get their touchdown in the second period. The final score 37-7. I'd like to go ahead and announce our players of the game. First for the Fort Loramie Redskins. We mentioned his name earlier, Carter Mesher. 21 carries on the ground, 96 yards rushing. A fine job by Carter Mesher. Congratulations to him. That award sponsored by McDonald's. And also then for the Minster Wildcats, keeping it on the ground as well, we're going to go with Evan Hulsman, running back for the Wildcats. Just 29 carries, 156 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns. Congratulations to Evan Hulsman, player of the game for the Minster Wildcats. Both those awards being sponsored by McDonald's. Thank you to them for allowing us to do this. This is high school football tournament action that you were watching tonight. From Minster, the Wildcats will move on to Week 12. Their opponent will be the winner of the Riverside Ada game. And at this time, Riverside ahead and in control of that game. That game will be played at a neutral site. I'd like to thank our production crew tonight, our cameraman on the field, Kurt Kuffner, our cameraman at midfield, Daniel Allen. Our production unit tonight in the van is John Quellhorst. I'm Jeff Henson. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's telecast. And once again, your final score, the Wildcats 37, the Redskins 7. Thanks for watching here on NKTelco Sports.